Hello fellow developers, welcome back to the channel. Today we are continuing our Python series and this is the third episode. In today's episode we shall be learning about values and variables, then assignment operator, how we can assign values to a variable, then naming conventions in Python that is generally followed by various developers, then some of the naming conventions which are not allowed in Python, then reserved keywords, like there are a couple of reserved keywords that you can't use as a variable, then statement versus expression, although these two seem very similar, but in the world of programming these two are slightly different. I'll teach you what is the difference between these two. Then the fun and interesting part is the operations. There are multiple operations like addition, subtraction, division, and multiple. Then at the end we will be learning about order of operations in Python. This is slightly different than what we already know, like the BODMAS rule or PEDMAS rule, but in the world of programming or in the world of Python, so to say, it is slightly different. So without delaying further, let's start and open the terminal. Alright, so we have come to the terminal. You know what I will be doing, I'll simply type Python and I'll open the Python prompt. So we are using Python 3.11. If you already have installed, then no problem, but if you didn't, then please check out my previous video for the setting up of Python environment in Windows computer. So okay, cool. So the value or something is a data that our computer or Python interpreter understands. So if we press maybe 45, this is a value. Then if I type something, let's type my name, Amit, this is a value. I mean, although these two values are different, but this is a value. Now in case of currency or some numbers, we will be intimidated to write, let's say 45,000, and we might put a comma, but Python takes it slightly differently. This is a tuple. We can provide multiple commas also, let's say 1 comma 22,000 maybe, then 325. This is also a value, but we know it as 1,22,325, but this is not how it is stored in Python. This is a tuple. So we'll know further in the series, we'll know what is tuple, what are all the stuff. And yeah, this is value. Now what is variable? Variable is a name that is attached to a value. So for example, if I want to provide username and if I provide Amit, maybe this is my name, so username is the variable name and Amit is the value. So now if I say, hey interpreter, please provide me the value of username, it will give you the value. So here one thing that I have used, see this equal to symbol, do not read it as equal to symbol. This is an assignment operator. So we are telling the interpreter, hey, store this value to this name, username, as Amit. We can provide some other value, maybe dob equal to some string or some date, like 24121997 or something. I mean, this is not my date of birth, like 24/12/1997, but in case you want to provide it, you can store it like dob. There are a couple of other things that I will show. If you want to know what is the type of the value, there is something for you. You can simply call this function, which is an inbuilt function in Python, type of dob. This should provide you string. Yeah, for the time being, consider class and type interchangeably, but class and type are slightly different. We shall discuss those also in further lectures, but for the time being, let's keep that. Now if I want to see the type of maybe something like username, see, this is also string. We can store something. Let me store the tuple, like my tuple equal to 45,000. Now if I provide type of my tuple, you will see this is a tuple class. For the number, I think this should be given as a number, like a number. I'm storing that as a variable, maybe 49. This would be a number. Now if I see type of a number is a variable and the value of the variable is 49. See, this is an int, type of integer, int or integer, whatever you say. Now for the float, we need a decimal pointer, so we can provide that decimal, or a better like a float. We can provide that like 17.17. So now if we see type of a float, the class is float or the type is float. So that's how we can know what is the type of a variable or value. In the world of programming, values and variables are everything. So this type or something, this is called a data type. So if someone says like what is the data type of that particular variable, they just want to know the type of the value that the variable is storing. So this is nothing but data type. Now let's discuss the variable naming convention. We can provide the name as whatever we like, but in Python we follow snake casing. What is snake casing? If we want to provide a variable name, for example, date of birth, what we can do, we can simply separate all the words with an underscore, and all the letter of the variable name are small case, no capital casing. So this type of variable naming convention, words separated by underscore, is called snake casing. You can store anything, 2506 1995 1996 maybe. So now what we can do, we can start any variable, although the convention says that we do not need to use any capital letters, but we can use this also, date of birth. Although this is camel casing, but in Python generally people doesn't use camel casing, people use snake casing. So yeah, that's how the naming convention works. Now what we can't do, see, there are variable naming conventions that we can't do. The variable name should not be starting with a number. We can't write this. No, this is not allowed. The variable name is starting with a number, so this is not allowed. We cannot use any special characters like maybe currency and then dollar equal to 56.12. This is also not allowed because dollar symbol is a special character and we cannot use that. So we cannot use a number at the starting of a variable name, and we cannot use any special character at any place in a variable name. Please remember that Python variables are case sensitive. So if I'm storing something like name equal to Amit, and then if I'm storing name with n as small as Rakshit, which is my surname, then you have to understand that this capital N name and small n name both are completely different. So if I just say name, it gives me Rakshit. If I just say name with capital N, it provides me Amit. So you have to remember that Python is case sensitive. Maybe sometimes some bugs can come where you have mentioned a proper variable with capital letters, but you are looking with a variable with small letters. So in that case also, this is a very common mistake or very common source of bug. You have to remember that. Next up is like some reserved keywords. Python has a lot of reserved keywords like and, del, from, not, while, class, anything. So we cannot use these as a variable name. So if I show you, like let's say class equal to 8 maybe, this is not allowed because class is a reserved keyword in Python. We cannot use this while equal to true maybe. this is also not allowed because while is a reserved keyword or invalid syntax. It will throw you invalid syntax here and there and everywhere. So you have to remember that. I'll provide you the slide in the description, so from there you can check that. Now this is a very important part, which is statement and expression. Now you have to understand, we as humans, we want to provide the Python interpreter that, hey Python interpreter, please do this for me. Now this is a statement. Like if I want to tell the interpreter that, hey, like for I in range 10 and do something, this word or this order that I'm providing the interpreter is statement. Statements do not output anything. Statements do not yield any value. So what it does, it simply executes something. Now in case of expression, the difference is expression evaluates some value. For example, if we just simply type 365 times 24 times 60 times 60, then it provides me this value. So our Python interpreter executes this line to provide me some value. So therefore, this particular line is an expression. So expression evaluates some value, but statements does not evaluate any value. Statement means simply execute some lines of codes. So if I go to the Python terminal, then I'll show you it is better. So for example, we can simply type print something, print hello. So what it does, is print a statement or expression? It gives you this output. So as I mentioned earlier, that if anything gives you output, then this should be an expression. Then just think for a few seconds and tell me, what is print? Is print a statement or print an expression? But okay, cool. Print, although print is evaluating or print is giving me some output, but print is not an expression. Print is simply a statement, because we cannot store the value into any variable. Like print value equal to print. If I do that, then print doesn't store this. No, it doesn't store that. So if I want to print val, it doesn't give you that particular output. So print is a statement and it is not an expression. But very similarly, if I just say time in seconds, and if I just provide 365 times 24 times 60 times 60, see now this right hand side of this assignment symbol, this is an expression, and this expression has given some return. This return value is stored in this particular variable. Now if I just simply type this seconds, see this gives me this output. So you have to remember that. In some scenario, maybe you will feel like, no, this is not expression or this is not a statement. Just remember that if you can store the output into a variable, then the right hand side of the assignment operator is an expression. And if you cannot store something, it simply executes or it is just running the program, then this is a statement. As simple as that. Next up is the most interesting part of today's lecture, I'd say, is operations. Operations, see, we all know that like what is addition, what is subtraction, what is multiplication, division. There is something new which is floor division in Python. You might not find this in some other programming languages. Then exponentiation and modulus. So one by one we will see what it does. For the addition, we all know that like we can add 45 plus 55, it will simply give me 100. As simple as that. Now if we want to subtract something, 60 minus 55, it should give me 5, and it does. Then if we want to discuss about multiplication, then 25 times 25, it should give me 625. Yeah, it does. Then we can have a division, maybe 60 divided by what? 4. It is giving me 15.0. Let me do one more division, and this time let me just divide 32 by 3, so it gives me 10.6666, and I don't know how much is the precision, but that's okay. But what is then floor division? Cool. So if we do 32, so floor division is nothing but these two forward slashes. Then 32 floor divided by 3 is giving me 10. So it simply gives me this integer. But in case of normal division, it will give you a float. Even though it is, even if it is completely divisible, then also it will give you a float. So in case of 60 divided by 4, it gave me 15. But if we just simply do the float division, which is double slash 60 double slash 4, it will give me 15. So these two values are same, but they have completely different data types. So 15.0 is a float value, and 15 is an integer. So this is float division. For exponentiation or like squaring or cubing something, we can use double star or asterisk. So we can do 40 star 2. This is nothing but 40 squared, should be 1600, and it is. Then 24 star if I just say 0.5, tell me what should be the value. Write it down in the comment section. Yeah, it is 5, because exponentiation of 5 just means simply we are doing square root. So this is giving me correct output. So that's how exponentiation works. And the last thing is modulus operator. That also, this will simply provide you the remainder. So let me just think, 78 is getting divided by 3. What do you think? What should be the remainder? It should be nothing but 0, because 78 is completely divisible by 3. Then we can take another number, maybe 79, and then we will do modulus 5. So tell me what should be the value of this expression. See, I am also telling expression. So ideally it should be 4, and it is, because 79 is not completely divisible. So if we divide, then 4 will be the remainder. So modulus operator is used in case of finding the remainder in a division. So this is about operators. Now let me just come back to the order of operation. See, the fun thing is, if we remember from our childhood days, Padmas or Bodmas rule, then yeah, that is correct. First, the parenthesis or bracket is evaluated. Then in case of exponentiation, like the order, like in case of exponentiation, exponent works first, then division and multiplication, and at the end addition and subtraction, like PEDMAS. But here is a slightly different thing. Division and multiplication has the same order. We cannot say that division happens first and then multiplication. So in this particular expression, we can't say that 15 is divided by 3 happens first and then 9 times 2 happens. No. In case of addition and subtraction also, it is provided with same order. Although once we have the same expression, like for example, take this line, 49 plus 15 divided by 3 minus 9 star 2. So the result would be 49 plus 5 minus 18, like 49 plus 5 minus 18. In this case, what happens? You might be thinking like, what will happen? Like 5 minus 18, then 49. But in this case, when everything is sorted, only same level of or same order of operators are there, in this case only addition and subtraction, then the operation starts from left side. So first what happens, like 49 plus 5 will be executed, so we'll have 54, and then 54 minus 18 to be 36. So if we just think of same order, so when in an expression only same order is there, like same order of operators are there, then it will start executing from the left side. So you have to remember that. We can just simply go ahead and test that. Maybe we can take some random value like 7 plus 8 minus 12 minus 20 plus 16. So what should be the value? So first what will happen, see in this case we do not have any multiplication or anything, so 7 plus 8 will be 15, then minus 12 should return me 3, and then minus 20 should return me minus 17, plus 7 16 should give me minus 1, and it is. But if you think from the opposite side, so what will happen, like 20 plus 16, 20 plus 16 is what, it is 36. Then if we just simply like subtracting from 12 minus 36, it should be like minus 24, then minus of minus 24, 8 plus 24 is 32, plus 7 is 39, so it should be a completely wrong answer. So you have to remember that if in the expression you have same orders, then the order of operation starts from left to right. So yeah, that's it. Alright, I think today this is it for this lecture, and in the next series or in the next episode we'll come back with something really amazing. And if you have enjoyed the video, then please give it a like, it will help me boost my confidence. And if you're new to the channel, feel free to do subscribe. Cool, thank you very much. I'll see you in my next video.